Good morning. Welcome to the Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being, right? In today's conversation, we're going to be talking about letting go of being imperfect, right? So I really want to take in consideration because, if you feel stuck in regards to your growth and your development, right, this is not that you're not trying, right, and you're not showing up for yourself, but it might be because you're just trying to do everything too perfectly, right? So I really want to take in consideration that you're not supposed to, be perfect. You're supposed to just try your best, right? So as long as that you're showing up for yourself, you're trying to be authentic yourself, you're being real to yourself, right? And you know your capacity, that's all that matters, right? So I really want to take in consideration because you're not supposed to be walking on the fine line. You're not supposed to be comparing yourself to other people. You're supposed to be showing up for yourself, doing the best that you can do, right? And that's why it's personal development. It's your personal, right, development on your growth journey, right? So I really want us to take that in consideration because it's going to be different for everybody, right? That's why I always tell people to mind your what? Mind your business, right? So let's get back into it, right? So I want us to, like I said, normalize and reduce the shame, right? So many people, right, believe that growth should be clean, linear, and steady, right? Mistakes, inconsistencies, and setbacks often feel like failure, right? This creates pressure that makes people hesitate, overthink, or even stop what they want to do and they shut down, right? So I really want us to take that into consideration again, right? Is to mind our business. Let's worry about ourselves. It's not supposed to be linear. It's not a straight path. Like, right? Life goes up and down. It fluctuates, right? Life is not Candyland, as I always emphasize, right? So I really want us to pull it back, right? So if you're struggling doesn't mean, like I said, you're doing something wrong. You're not showing up for yourself. It often means, like I said, you're actually in the process. You have some type of understanding what's going on, right? But I want us to reduce the shame once again. Let's get back on track. Let's worry about our personal development. That's who's beneficial for us, right? And let's not worry about what people got going on. Let's pull it back to our personal development so we're able to have our personal growth so we can get the outcomes of what we want to be or what we want. So in regards to psychoeducation, something that's going to be able to help us stay grounded, pulling it back in regards to my first key point, right? So growth is naturally uneven. It includes progress, right? We have our plateaus in regards to, our high points, right? And we also have our setbacks, that pull us back, right? So the brain learns through repetition, right? That consistency, that discipline, We got to have, that balance, right? But at the same time, too, we also learn through effort. In addition to that adjustment, we have to be able to adjust things, right? So avoiding these mistakes limits our learning, in addition to it slows our progress, right? So when you're trying to be perfect, right, walking on that fine line, you're avoiding that learning curve, right? So I really want to take that in consideration, right? Stop trying to be able to making yourself in this anxiety where you just have all this, like you just can't even progress because you're being too hard on yourself, right? So let loose, let go. Even people out there that have that ego, right? Like, take it easy, put the fence down, be easy, be kind to yourself, right? And allow yourself to just be able to realize that this is going to be a journey for you to be able to grow, learn, and regardless of what happens, you're still going to be able to show up for yourself. And there is support out there, right? There's counselors, there's people out here that you're able to advocate for yourself to receive any type of support, right? But as we have that balance, we have that growth, right? We're going to be able to take on things in our journey, right? So avoiding mistakes, again, right, limits the learning and slows the progress, right? So a core insight I want to take in consideration is progress isn't built from perfection. It's built by or from integration, right? So as we put these things together, we're able to grow, we're able to learn through the experience in regards to our journey, right? That's why I said, once again, it's your personal development. So in regards to some practical reframing and how we're able to approach this differently, right? First key point off rip, I want us to take in consideration shifting from the doing the right to staying within, measuring growth by returning, and not by flawless execution, right? So we're not supposed to be just focusing on, how to be perfect and walking on that fine line, like I said, right, is to expect inconsistency as part of the process, right, because that is something that we're going to be able to help us grow, and we're able to look at things with the critical mindset, with that rational thinking of what's really going on, right? So growth doesn't require you to be right or get it right. It requires you to keep going, and like I said, showing up for yourself, right? So I want us to take that in consideration. But pulling, like I said, this video back together is that I want you to take in consideration that let go of trying to be imperfect. You're not supposed to be perfect. As long as you're showing up for yourself, that's all that matters. If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.